Are you looking for the easiest way to solder a tiny USB-C connector onto a circuit board? Let me show you how. Hello from MyRobo. In this MyRobo Minute, I'm going to show you how to drag solder. Drag soldering is the quickest way to solder a USB connector onto any circuit board, like the UBMP4 I'm going to use to demonstrate. To start, you will need a soldering iron with both a fine conical tip as well as a flat blade tip. You will also need a flux pen that contains the same type of flux that's in your solder. I use water-soluble flux to make cleanup easy. It's also great for schools since there's no extra chemicals to store. I solder the resistors into the UBMP4 first to help keep the board level when soldering in the USB-C connector. After dropping the USB-C connector into your circuit board, taping it into place will help you to flip the board over for soldering without having to hold onto or reposition the connector. First, use the conical iron tip to solder just the two large USB connector shell pins. Then check the connector to make sure it's mounted straight. If it's not straight, you can easily reheat one pin at a time and push the connector into place. After soldering the connector into place, let your soldering iron cool down so you can switch to the flat blade tip to solder all of the USB-C data pins. While the iron is cooling, use your flux pen to apply solder flux across all of the tiny USB contact pads. The flux will help to make the solder stick only to the pads and not to the epoxy circuit board. After it has cooled, switch your iron to the blade tip. Once it's hot, load the tip with lots of solder and carefully position the tip at one end of the row of USB data pads. Ensure the tip is flat on the board and slowly drag it across the row of pads. If you didn't use enough solder, some of the last pads may not be connected. Simply reapply more flux from your flux pen, load up the soldering iron tip with solder again, and drag it across. When you're done, all of the pads should be soldered without any shorts between them. Finish by soldering the last two USB connector shell pins using your conical iron tip. That's it! Now you'll be able to use drag soldering for any tiny, closely spaced solder connections. Thanks for watching.